Guys, I didn't want to be a hater. I really didn't. I just wanted to kind of just live my little life and do my thing, right? That was largely me. And to be honest, I was doing that. But this situation with Abba and Preach is coming up again. Now, we already know about Abba's no condom and excessive booty clapping. At the same time, he was trying to hold other content creators accountable when he was being completely fraudulent. And we already know what Preach did. Preach basically lost all credibility because Preach pretended that, well, you know what? Me and Abba are not friends. And to be fair to them, they have said this situation before. But when this scandal broke out last month, the issue was that the girl Libby, who brought this information out publicly, Abba had to get out in front of her. All right. And this is kind of when we knew that stuff was going bad. Now, Preach is a comic in Montreal, largely in French. All right. He's going to a comedy show. And when he's going to a comedy show, Abba calls. Abba says, hey, man, listen, whatever you're doing, I need you to come on. I got to address these allegations from Libby. Preach says, look, I got to go someplace. I can't do it right now. I can do it tomorrow. Well, Abba says, listen, I got to do the video without you. And when Abba said that, Preach was thinking this.
Your dancing is good, so we're going to protect your dancing, but my work is, so I'm just not going to be part of the video.
So as you can see, Preach seemed to be a little upset that, number one, in my opinion, Abba had gotten them into a bad situation in the first place because Abba did, right? Abba messed it up. Then Abba wants him to stop whatever he's doing and do the video because Abba wants to go to a dance party tonight and doesn't want to change his schedule. So Preach has to change his schedule. So Preach goes and does his comedy show in Montreal. And as soon as the Montreal comedy show is done, Preach comes to wherever Abba is at, all right? Then what happens after that is interesting.
When I have people around me, when I have people that I have in my life, when I have people that I deem important, I'm going to think that they operate in the best interest, or there's a reason behind what they're doing.
Now, what do we hear him saying? All right. He's saying, listen, at first I was upset, but I got to trust this person and he means a lot to me. Now, how do you say that about a person and then turn around and say this?
I am not his friend. So you think that we have a relationship that we don't have. So you shouldn't be telling me all this shit, because Boo Boo Honey Chicken, I don't even know who the hell you are. I don't know who you are. I don't know what's going on with y'all. Oh, I have his baby and everything and stuff. Something that he hasn't even told me. So if he hasn't told me that.
So wait a minute. So you can turn around and go and support him in his stream in his time of need. But when Libby was trying to get in contact with him through the Abba and Preach page, because Abba basically be recruiting from the Abba and Preach page and then messaging chicks and then lining them up. And then now you're saying her, well, listen, I'm not his friend. I mean, it was a dumbass cop out. You know, all of a sudden they're not friends, right? Then
Preach, if Abba got married, would you go to his wedding even though you say you guys aren't friends? Only if he invites me. If he doesn't invite me, I'm not gonna. I'm not asking. I'm not asking to go to anybody's wedding. You want me there? I'll be there.
Somebody clearly asked in the comment section, hey man, would you ever go to Abba's wedding? Well, if he invites me. But, you know, as the lie continued to go on, these guys make a mistake, because what do we see happening here?
Yo, Preach, what are you like?
You don't like that shit?
I feel like I'm hanging with my mom. Where'd you get this shit?
I don't know, man. It played right after.
Yo, I'm understanding Preach's hatred for Christianity. It's not his experiences. He's about to be a soldier of Allah.
That is Abba and Preach in the same car, joking about something. And the reason was, I don't have a problem with it, but the reality is this. I'm not gonna largely get into a car with somebody that they are not my friends, okay? Then they were lying when they posted this video called "Our Friendship is on Shaky Grounds Right Now." like I said, man, it's really going outside. And let me tell you why. Number one, content creators, we are not perfect people. We're just as hypocritical as everybody else. What really brings a lot of issues to us is because number one, content creators become public figures once you come onto, social media platforms. And then when you give your opinions on people, especially on people's integrity or how people should do certain things, you then open up the door for your own transgression, right? And I'm not trying to say that Abba's a bad person or anything like that, but let me just say this. If you're going to call out other people like Fresh and Fit for doing whatever they're doing, and largely you're using the Abba and Prince ecosystem to fly chicks out to where you are, you're telling chicks that you have a low sperm count, so you don't want to use condoms. Like, largely you're telling them this, all right? Then once the heat comes on to the platform, Preach is saying, well, he's not my friend, so we're not friends. Why are you guys telling me this? We're just business associates. But then you guys admit that you're friends in this post, and then you're in the car together. Then you guys tried to make money off of this thing by trying to sell some condoms that made fun of abortions, which some of these chicks had. And so for me, when I used to watch Abba and Preach, I would at least believe that they felt what they were talking about. They were at least passionate about what they were talking about. Not perfect, but they believed what they were talking about. They had a certain level of integrity and morality with their content. And I believe that if you are a content creator and you operate with certain levels of morality, certain levels of integrity, and you deviate from that, then it just looks terrible. Not to say that nobody can be a hypocrite, but that's the problem with Anton Daniels. Anton Daniels fundamentally talks about how the black community is trash and this is what's wrong with the culture, and that's what's wrong with the culture. And then you hear him turning around talking about things about how he not faithful to his wife. He always got a bad chick around him. He's just basically doing what he want to do in his marriage. But he's talking about he's a Christian, he's in his walk, he loves God. And absolutely, if you're having side chicks, that is the antithesis of Christianity. But you come on here every day on a soapbox and you hold other people up to a standard that you don't live. And then when you look at Abba and Preach, they come after Myron, they come after Fresh and Fit, they come after everybody in the social media pop space. And then they do all of this stuff. And then they call everybody else out for lying. And then they clearly have been lying the entire time. They are no different. And this is not even to be mean to them or to be rude to them, but it's just like, oh, okay, well, nobody can really take you seriously now. And all of this was just a wealth building tool. I mean, and it's okay to make money with this stuff. I mean, we all do. But just call it for what it is. You know what I mean? You're on here to just, gain money. You don't have a real opinion on anything. Because if you had a real opinion on anything, how you would be behaving would matter. And it just doesn't. And for those people who was like defending Abba and Preach or O'Shea, you're hating, and O'Shea, how could you do this? Like, don't you see that what they're doing is basically making somebody feel like they're dumb? Like, largely also what I've heard, I don't want to reveal my source. He's largely trying to, I'm talking about Abba here, threatening these women with cease and desist orders, using a lawyer not to put out the stuff that they're putting out about him. But when it was Daisy Chin and he could get her on a podcast or an interview and tell all the Fresh and Fit's business, it was different. But now, since his ass is in trouble, he's trying to silence everybody else, which I honestly believe that is fake as F. It's fake, it's phony, and you guys don't really have a position. And that's bad. And that's sad. And especially when you had a lot of respect for these guys. Like, I know content creators. There's one guy in Africa, I don't want to call his name. He is completely different when the camera comes on and comes off. Like, on camera, he's one way. Once the camera goes off, you wouldn't even think that person is the same individual. And you're like, but you talked all about this positive stuff, about coming together. Then once you get off the camera, it's like, yo, man, I don't really care about this. I'm just saying this. I'm just acting. And maybe that's what they're doing. They're just acting. Probably what it is. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Jackson back at it again with an episode of The Celebrity Drunk. I appreciate you. Before you do, subscribe to the bell. We're out.